Boards and booze, booze and boards, drinks and beers, fight some hordes. Drank too much, forgot our swords, ran back home, filled our gourds, got drunk again, sang some chords. Boards and booze and boards, with Mickey and Jeb.
Get your backpack, Jeb.
Why?
Going into the mysterious forest.
Cool. Mysterious Forest, Mickey. Where have I seen this game before? I don't remember.
Well, this game will help you with your memory.
Hey!
But you saw it at Origins.
Hey, weren't we there?
Actually, I think you saw it before that because I pointed it out and said, "Oh, that looks interesting."
No.
But I don't want to buy it.
No, it was at Origins that I remember. If you showed me before, I just completely blanked it out because.
Probably, I think we were at games and stuff. But anyways.
Because Origins, we walked in the door and we were like, what are we going to do first? And we both saw it on the table and we were like, let's play this game.
Yeah, that's because the vendor hall wasn't open yet.
Yeah. That's true.
A true story.
So, we played Mysterious Forest. It is, if you can't tell by our talks about memory, a game that's heavily based on memorization. So...
and you'll see.
It's 2 to 4 players, 6 and up, which is pretty good, I think accuracy, because most games would be 14 and up, and it's no, little kids can play this. It only plays about 20 minutes, so...
Actually, if your kid's playing concentration, they can play this game.
Yeah, it's
yeah. So, depending on, your child's level on what you have them playing, if they're playing any type of memory-based game, they can play this game.
Carlo A. Rossi and Daniel...
Oh, there's 2?
Leisk. And once again, we butcher pronunciations. That time it was my turn. Alright, so pretty much all the players work together. They're helping the guy Jonas, who, as you can see, he's the kid. He's trying to get through the mysterious forest and fight
the bad guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
really simple concept. You're kind of all Jonas in a way. Yeah, you're just trying to fill.
Isn't everybody a little Jonas?
I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, it's like the players take turns, but you are all kind of Jonas. So.
Right.
And you just remember the tokens and help them progress through the forest. So I don't know if there's really much else to say about it.
There isn't?
It's a really short game. I'll stop rambling and we will get into the components. Hey Mickey, do you have all the components on the table for this?
Yes, Jeb.
It was mostly to show that there's not a ton of components for the game.
Okay, Jeb.
All right, so
yes.
let's start. We will begin with the path cards. So in this game, Jonas starts on his journey through the forest, and there's a pathway through the forest. So there's different path cards. The beginning path card is the starting card. There is only one of them. That's where he starts.
Yep.
Next up are the forest path cards.
These are the forest path cards. There's a whole range of them. And there's an example of what they kind of look like.
On the bottom of them, just real quick, on the bottom is the different symbols that correspond with the tokens. That's pretty much all that's on that side of the card. Next up are the Wanderer cards.
This is the Wanderer back. Sorry, I picked up the wrong one.
Yeah.
And then there's these.
And for the Wanderer cards, there are certain conditions, and then there's the Wanderer tokens that we'll explain later. Next up are the Final Battle cards,
which I showed out of order.
Yeah.
Which those are the different... Well, it's the same monster, but different win conditions.
Yeah. So that's everything for the path cards. Next up is the backpack board, which I think you could tell what that is. It's a backpack that can hold all the different tokens. That's what all the circles on there are for. And next up are the equipment tokens, which there is a giant pile of them. There's all kinds of different ones.
Right.
So I don't think we really need to go through all of them. The only one that is different is what's
this
his name?
guy, Loki.
Loki, yeah.
There's a Loki token. He works a little different than the other ones.
Aside from the tokens, there is the Jonas figure, which it's like a miniature kind of. It's not a cardboard cutout.
And it's almost not necessary. It pretty much isn't even necessary for the game, almost.
Yeah.
But it is a really cool figure.
Yeah,
it's really well made and he looks neat.
I think the boss cutout is more unnecessary than Jonas, right?
Very true. It's just aesthetically pleasing.
Yep. And then there are 4 dice that are used for the game.
And they're I don't know how they say it, but these aren't stickers, so the dice are very nice.
Nice dice. And then there is the rulebook.
And then the rulebook.
And that's everything for components for the Mysterious Forest. So
Yep.
we will get into setup. Alright, so we will show you how to set up the game of Mysterious Forest. The first thing you are going to do is take the 3 different piles of cards and shuffle them, as Mickey is already doing. He's shuffling the 4s.
The paths. I just grabbed the next one, which happened to be the bad guys. And what are these? The Wanderer, Jeb? What's it called?
Yeah, the Wanderer.
Okay, so those are shuffled. I'm gonna get them out of the way though, because the forest is going to run across the table.
All right.
So we are going to show you the very, very first setup, correct, Jeb?
Yes.
All right.
So the next step after you shuffle the piles is to make the path that is shown in the book.
Great. So the path that's shown in the book are 4 forest cards, 1 wanderer card, 2 forest cards, and then the bad guy. So I go 4, 2, 3, 4 forest, 1 wanderer, 2 forests, and 1 big bad guy. The bad guy, and for scary purposes, we'll put that sliding.
Sliding so they can see everything in its glory.
Yeah, there you go. You're set. You're ready to play.
Well, you place Jonas on the starting card. Hey, that was easy. Next, separate the tokens with the Loki tokens face down, which Mickey has done beforehand.
Jeb didn't want to, people.
Yeah, I just played in a pile, except for the Lokis. But that's me. Next, you want to put the dice near the board, which they are really close to the board. Then you want to put 4 Loki in the backpack. So you just take 4 random ones and put them in.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And then finally, you will determine the first player, which is usually Mickey because he yells, "I'm first player."
That's alright. I won't do that to you this time, Jeb.
Oh, okay, I see how it is. Alright, and that's everything for setup. So it is pretty simple. We will tell you that in the rule book, I guess towards the back, there are different difficulties that you can choose.
Right.
And they have setups that are a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
And that's mostly just...
based on how many cards you put out.
Yeah.
There's a couple other things too, but for the most part, the difficulty rises with the number of Loki and how many cards are out.
Yep. Alright, and that's everything I've got on setup. So we can start going into the phases of gameplay.
Sure.
So phase 1 is called Scout the Path. And what you do is in turn order, each player is going to flip a path card, and everybody's going to memorize the equipment that's needed, and you will only do it for each path card once.
Right.
So if Mickey's first player and I'm second player, we'll start with Mickey. He's going to flip over the first path card. And we all see that it is, what, 2 Lotus and
one
a magnifying glass? So
once everybody's confirmed that they know what's on that card, you flip this card over, and then the next person can flip the next card.
And that's what, a tooth and a glove?
Yeah, it's a horn and a glove. Well, I think it's a horn. I call it a horn. You can call it a tooth, Jeb. It's fine. It might be a tooth. I don't know.
I don't know. It's
Could
multicolored.
It doesn't really matter what it is. The point is that you're flipping cards, memorizing
One at a time.
what's on it, and then they flip back over. Honestly, when we play, I think the same person always flips the cards. Doesn't, but at least you have some interaction if you go around the table.
Right. I don't think it makes too much of a difference.
It probably doesn't.
The key is that
Right.
you flip one card, take the time to memorize it,
then
flip it face
back.
down, and that card will never be flipped up.
Yep, you
while
can't.
playing.
You're not allowed to go back. Once you flip it back down, that's it. You better hope you remembered what it was.
And then you can even house rule how long that you have the card face up
Right.
if you want to, but it's not in the rules.
And then you'd look at that one, and yes, you actually look at the
Yep, you look at the Wanderer.
Wanderer. Holy crap! All right.
Oh yeah, that Wanderer, I think.
It's a big one.
And just keep going, which I'll select this up.
There. Then I would flip that one back over, and then I'd flip that one back over.
And you're all supposed to be memorizing this while we do it, but
And then you flip this over, and you look at the final battle, and then you flip that over, and now you're ready for the next stage, and you have supposedly memorized what every single one of these cards has on it to be able to get through the forest.
Yep, so that was the first phase. The second phase is called Prepare for the Journey.
Right.
So in player order, each player is going to roll the 4 dice. They're going to choose 2 of them and put that equipment in their backpack.
Right.
If you ever, this is very rare, but if you roll something where that equipment doesn't have any tokens left in the supply, then you get to re-roll that die. But that is something that I think is very rare, and it's noted in the rule book like
Actually
that.
happened to Nina and I when we played it on hard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I almost feel like it's kind of weird that you're able to re-roll in a way.
Oh, yeah.
Because if it lets you get something,
Right.
it's kind of strange. When you see it, you'll understand what I'm talking about if Jeb didn't cut that part out. So I would roll my turn, and then
What were the 4 things? You got 2 gloves?
Right.
No, a glove?
and I remember clearly seeing a magnifying glass, and I remember clearly seeing a glove. So I think on this turn I'm going to pick those 2 things. So I would take a magnifying glass, and I would take a glove, and I would place them in the backpack. So now that you've kind of seen the mechanics, the object is what you're trying to do is remember everything on these cards and fill your backpack with those items to enable you get through the next phase of this. So you're going to keep doing that. Like next turn would be Jeb's. He'd roll the 4 die. He would do this exact same thing. He would
2 maps, a cloak, and a sword.
right. Now he'd pick 2 of those, put them in the backpack. There is one important rule about when you're rolling the die. If Loki comes up, you must take the Loki.
Yep. So if I just rolled this, which are 2 Loki and 2 other things, I have to take 2
the two Loki.
And that is not looking at the Loki. They're still face down.
Face down. Randomly take a Loki, put him in the backpack. If he had just rolled 1 Loki, then just 1, and then he could, pick the other item that he wanted. You go around the table with however many people are playing, turn order. You keep doing that until the backpack is totally full of the items that you want to take through the forest.
Yep. And phase 2 ends when the backpack is full. So phase 3 is the expedition. And what happens then is you reveal the first card and move Jonas onto it. So, Mickey, reveal the first card.
And I will move Jonas up 1.
Yep.
Now
Then,
Jonas has to pull those items out of his backpack.
Yep.
So, oh look, Lotus popped into the backpack, Jeff.
Wow, I
Isn't
didn't
that
even see
awesome?
how
Isn't
you
that
picked
cool?
that.
So I would take 2 Lotus, put them on the card from the backpack, not from the supply, obviously. And he has made it through that section of the forest. And
So next you flip the next card. And guess what? Jonas continues his journey.
Right.
And he is looking for a glove and a horn.
Uh-oh.
Well, we have a glove, right, Mickey?
We do have a
So
glove.
we can put a glove on.
But we don't have a horn, Jeb. What do we do when we don't have what we want?
When you don't have what you want, you have to pick a Loki token in your backpack and you flip it face up. And whatever it is, if you have the choice of something that helps fulfill a condition, then good for you. But if not, then you have to flip another Loki token.
Right. So I got a lighter and a cloak. So I didn't get a horn. That's unfortunate because now I've wasted this Loki token that might have come in handy down the road when I needed a lighter or a cloak.
Right. That Loki token does not
guarantee you anything.
It doesn't generate it doesn't generate a token into your backpack. All it does is take the place of it.
So if you guys can see, that one's split in half, so that's either or. I'll randomly pick another one. This one, yay! So this says I get to take an item from my backpack and exchange it for an item in the supply. So let's just say I had another item in the backpack. I could exchange this for the horn. I think I said that right.
Yep,
right?
you did. There is one exception, and we are actually in that, where if all you have are Loki tokens in your backpack and you get that, then instead of switching out one of the face down Loki tokens, you actually switch the Loki token that you flipped with whatever you want. So
I had forgotten that, but what you guys saw me do at the beginning is what it's supposed to do. But Jeb's right.
But that's only in the case where you only
Where
have
is
Loki
there
tokens.
only Loki tokens left?
Yep. So the whole goal of this game is to get Jonas all the way to the final boss and be able to defeat it by fulfilling all the conditions.
Right.
If you ever cannot fulfill the conditions on one of the cards, you lose.
Right.
So it's pretty simple that way. One thing we do need to mention is the Wanderer card.
Yep.
On the Wanderer card, at the bottom, there is a condition for you to fulfill. And if you fulfill that condition, you get to take the 2 tokens that Mickey just put on there and put them in your backpack. And those tokens can be used as anything down the road.
Right. They are a wild card.
Yes.
And every one of these Wanderer cards is like kind of have a different meaning. I'm pretty sure
That one is just 4, I believe.
of anything, right?
Yeah, but we can double check. It's in the rules, so.
Yeah. So this one says to get those 2 wild cards, remove any 4 equipment from your backpack.
Yeah.
So you have to take any ones that you want, take them out. You can have those 2 wild cards now, and hopefully that'll help you get to the end of the forest.
Yep.
So then you still move through the next one. If you're fortunate enough to get all the way to the end, you flip the last card. If you can fill that, you've defeated whatever that monster's name is, and you win the game.
Yep. Other than that, for difficulty, like we said, you can look in the book for different setups for difficulty, but there is one thing you can do that's kind of optional, is right before you get to the boss, you can actually put the tokens
on the card.
Yeah, put it on and then flip it, and if it doesn't match, you automatically lose.
Right.
But that's just kind of an extra way to make it difficult.
Yep.
So.
You could actually play the whole game with that. Like you could
Yeah,
make
you
some
could,
house
yeah.
rules to make this game as hard or as easy as you want it to almost. Yeah. So that's kind of cool like that. So we'll shuffle these things back up and play a game, right, Jeb?
Yep.